Barcelona 1, Rayo Vallecano 0. And man, look, like I was saying in my match preview, bro, I see this being a KG match. I don't see us blowing them out. If you look at our head-to-head history, every single time we play against them, there's usually just one goal. That's the difference between the two, no matter if Barcelona's at home, if we have to go to Rayo. And that was the case today. It was not pretty whatsoever. We left a few on the table, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, Rayo left a few on the table as well. So, at the end of the day, the job is done. We got the 3 points. We put the pressure on Real Madrid to respond. They have a big game in the Madrid derby later on today, and they understand that they have to win. And I honestly think that they will, but we never know with Atletico. But we had to do what we had to do today just to get the job done and put the pressure on Real Madrid, and we did it. Was it pretty? No. Was it convincing? No. But thank God for players like Joan Garcia, man. Because I think if we had any other goalkeeper that's currently on this squad, we would not keep a clean sheet. The only reason why we came out of here with 3 points, offensively we didn't do enough, but because we got that man Joan Garcia in goal, saving things left and right, time and time, just saving us, we're able to walk out of here with 3 points and a clean sheet. And sometimes that's just how the game go. So I know a lot of people are not going to be convinced. I've already watched a little bit of ESPN FC's reaction to the game, and you know they're being heavily critical on Barcelona, which is expected from them. But when you had a game midweek, and look, I'm not trying to make an excuse. Rayo had a game midweek as well. Matter of fact, they had their game Thursday. Barcelona had theirs Wednesday. But was there really any rotation from Hansi Flick in that squad? I don't think it was that I can think of in the top of my head. So that's basically essentially the same 11 that went out there. And so I knew the legs was going to be a bit heavy, and you can tell by watching the performance. Barcelona just did just enough to get 3 points, and that's all. They didn't really care about scoring 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. They knew that wasn't going to happen with Rayo. History will show you that this is never the case against this type of opponent. And it was frustrating that time to watch, but like I said, man, at the end of the day, coming into this game, we have to find a way. I don't care how it looks. We have to find a way to come out of here with 3 points, and Barcelona did that. So in my eyes, that's job done. But let's take a look at some of the player performances and further look into this game, man. Because this one was it was interesting to say the least. With this 11, I wasn't sure if Joan Garcia would be 100% enough to be, ready and starting. But Hansi Flick went ahead and went with him. And thank God that he did, because like I said, those chances that we conceded this game, if that was Szczesny in goal, they're at least getting one of those in. At least one. Probably more. But he went with Garcia, and thank God he did. Cancelo at left back with Gerard Martin and Kubarsi. At center back with Ronald Araujo, Marc Bernal Pedri at the midfield. And then he had Lamine Yamal, Rafinha on wide, Lewandowski out front with Fermin right under him. Really, like I said, this is essentially, I think, the same 11 that we went out. Only difference is we started Eric Garcia at right back, but then he had to get subbed off due to an injury, and so we had to put in Ronald Araujo, and basically that was the same 11. Once Ronald Araujo came in, we went out with that same 11 against Rayo. So seeing that, I knew that Barcelona wasn't going to be looking the freshest. We weren't going to be playing on the front foot like how we expect them to play week in and week out under Hansi. And we got international break coming up right after this. Those games right before the international break are always tricky. The last time we had an international break going into it, was it not the game we lost to Sevilla 4-1 after just playing PSG a few days before? Was that the last international break? I think it was. But it was never going to be one of those games, man. I said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Like, Rayo, if you watch La Liga, is a respectable team. Now, obviously, in the standings, they're sitting 14th. But I don't think they have to worry about, they're 4 points off of relegation. I don't think they have to worry about being relegated. I honestly don't think they have to. But it's just something about when you watch them play, especially against Barcelona. You look at our head-to-head now. You can add this 1-0 result to this. 1-1. 1-0. 2-1. This is the anomaly. In 2024, May 19th, we beat them 3-0. But it goes back to 1-1. 2-1, 0-0, 0-1, 1-0, 1-2. You get my point. It's usually just a 1-goal difference between the two. So everybody out there want to shit on this performance from Barcelona, go ahead, man. I understand who we playing, and it was never going to be an easy game, never. So the fact that we were able to understand all that and still do just enough to get over the line and get all 3 points, I'll take it. There's not a lot of players I'm going to go through and applaud for their performance. If I'm being real, maybe only 2 players. I'm going to be real. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, you got to start with Joan Garcia, man. Obviously, the man in the match. Conceded no goals, had to make 4 saves. The XG that he faced was 1.44. So they're saying he was supposed to at least concede 1, maybe 2, depending on the opportunity. But he kept a clean sheet. It was a few times on those corners they could have created something. They almost scored a couple times from those corners. He was able to make big saves. Remember, in the first 45 seconds, he had to make an important one-on-one save. He did that. And then at the end of the game, when they had a couple one-on-ones, getting in behind Barcelona's high line, he's stepping up yet again to make an important save. I don't know where we would be this season without this man. Outside of Courtois, I'm almost at the point where I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Removing Courtois, because I do believe Courtois is the best one in the world if he's healthy. But outside of Courtois, I genuinely cannot name a better goalkeeper than Joan Garcia. And the fact that we got him from our second biggest rival, I guess you would say, outside of Real Madrid, Espanyol, we just really don't fuck with them. We know that. So the fact that we got him for 25 million euros, I'm telling you, this will go down as one of the best transfers in Barcelona's history. Especially because we needed a goalkeeper. We didn't just sign him and he just, we can have him as a backup and then he came into who he turned into. No, we needed a first team goalkeeper. And the fact that we found him, but for 25 million euros, and it was signed from one of our biggest rivals, I got to stand up and you got to applaud Deco and Laporta for getting that business done. I know he had a release clause, but they didn't mess about. They went in there, handled business, and got it done. So, Joan Garcia, man, like I said, let me get back to the point. Crucial saves that he made one-on-one. Big saves that he made from the corner. And if it wasn't for him, we definitely would concede at least 1 goal. And if he conceded at least 1 of those goals, Barcelona's dropping points today. So we get the 3 points exclusively because of Joan Garcia. Another player I want to talk about, because if he had a bad game, I will point it out. So I'm only being consistent. But Ronald Araujo, I thought he had a really good game today. I really do. I'm going to say this about Ronald Araujo. I don't mind him staying in the team, but 2 things have to be done in order for him to stay. 1, he has to be a rotational, like a squad player. He should not be in a situation where he's starting for Barcelona week in, week out. 1. 2, only play him in La Liga. Some Copa del Rey, Spain, domestically. You get my point. The way he shits the bed under them European bright lights, it's something about it, the occasion, it comes off as too big for him, and I think he knows the history he has in the Champions League, so he's probably even more bound to make a mistake because he's going to try so hard to not make a mistake. So Champions League nights, keep him far away from Barcelona. I don't even want him dressed on Champions League nights. But in La Liga, and even Copa del Rey, he would be a better option than a lot of other center backs that we would normally have as a backup or, just a squad player. He looked comfortable today. I thought he handled that right back position really well. He didn't really offer much going forward. You can tell on the heat map, he really didn't even try to go and overlap Lamine Yamal and try to maybe put in a cross like how you would see from a typical right back. We understand he's not a right back. He's a center back. He can play there at times, but it's only there for his defensive contributions, not for what he can offer going forward. There was a few times he had an important block. He was ushering out balls. He possession, like passing out from the back. He was solid. And then, of course, the only goal in the game, and you can never take this away from Ronald Araujo, he is a target man, probably our best target man to go for on corners. And he had his 1v1 that he won against Cease, and it was just a powerful header. He couldn't even get moved out of his position. The jersey's getting pulled and arms getting tugged, and he went up there and he won it. Powerful header, put it in the back of the net. Barcelona up 1-0. That happened in the 24th minute. We had a lot of game to play after that, but not only him, but the rest of the team did just enough. It wasn't convincing, don't get me wrong. It's not like we shut them out and they had nothing to offer and this is like prime Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. No, it wasn't that. But it was just the fact that we got our goal. It was a couple times where we should have scored more, but we didn't. But it was just enough to get over the line, man. Cancelo, he had a really good performance. It was his corner to Ronald Araujo that he got an assist from. And then there was a few times 1v1 throughout the game where he was pretty solid. There were a few times that he let the defense get behind. I don't know if I all the way agree with an 8.6 from Cancelo, but I thought he had a pretty good game. Pedri is Pedri, he did what he had to do, and I'm just, I hope that Spain takes care of him over the next 2 weeks because I think he needs some rest. But I thought he had a really good game today from Pedri. Gerard Martinez the same as well. Rock solid. Always has a good game as of late. We continue to win with him as a center back. We've yet to lose. I think we have one draw, no losses, and the rest is wins when Gerard Martinez starts at center back. And again, looking more and more comfortable as each game goes by. So I'm happy to see that performance from Gerard Martinez. But yeah, that's really all I can say, man, because Lewandowski, he did not have a good game. He got subbed off at half. I don't know how Rafinha scammed 90 minutes. I thought he was poor. He had 2 opportunities I wish he did more with, and this game would be completely different. When Cease lost the ball, when he intercepted it, and he ran in one-on-one, and this is early in the game, like the 12th minute or something like that, he's 1v1, he shoots it with his weaker foot, his right foot, but he ends up missing the goal completely. He didn't even get it on target. That was a poor finish at the end. A great effort to create that opportunity, but the execution at the end was poor. And then there was a few times a pass came in, like Lamine Yamal did the Trivela pass into the box. Really good through ball in. Rafinha couldn't even control it. He thighs it down. I don't know, man. It just really wasn't a good game from Rafinha at all. I don't agree with a 7.1. Because if you didn't watch the game and you just see that rating, you would think, was it his best game? No, but he wasn't that bad. I thought he was poor. And I can't believe he scammed 90 minutes because when he took out Lamine Yamal in the 82nd minute, he put Rashford in at left wing and he moved Rafinha over to right wing. But I just think really with him, the same can be said with a lot of these players, they're just tired. And the type of player that Rafinha is, he's a lot of energy. He's very passionate. So he's going to run. He's going to press, even when he's not playing well. But when you have heavy legs and you can't even really do all that well, it's going to turn out to look like how it looked today. We really didn't get much from the substitutes, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, look, the little cameo we got from Rashford, I thought he looked energetic. He looked sharp. And hopefully we get more of that down the road. But I'm gonna be truthful with y'all, man. It's not really much to break down with this because it really wasn't that much in the game. Rayo can feel hard done by, but only coming out of there with nothing. You know, they didn't. I was about to say only one goal. No, they didn't. They didn't score anything. They had a few moments. They had a few chances that they created. Probably 2 or 3 1v1s. But all in all, they created 5 big chances, bro. More than Barcelona. They had less shots, but for the shots that matter, it was equal. Both have 4 on target. They created more big chances than us. And out of all the big chances they created, that's the difference. You created 5 big chances and you come out with nothing. Part of that is all down to John Garcia and fantastic goalkeeping. The other part of that is that's just poor execution from Rayo. And maybe that explains why they are where they are in the table. But for some reason, every single time they play against us, it's never easy. So, understanding all that, it wasn't pretty. But at the end of the day, man, we got the job done. I'm going to keep saying that because if you were going out there expecting 3 or 4 or 5 goals, you just really don't know Rayo's history against Barcelona like that. Because as I showed earlier, every single time it's only a 1 goal difference. So we were pretty fortunate to come out of there. This, out of all the games Barcelona had at home at the new camp, this has probably been the worst performing game, but I don't care. We got the 3 points. We head into international break. Now we sit back with a 7-point lead in the table, and all the pressure in the world is on Real Madrid. If they drop any point, even if they just get a draw, that puts them at 67. We will be 6 points clear with 9 games to go. To me, that's La Liga. That's my opinion. But only time will tell, man. So I definitely want to know what you guys thought about today's performance, because it wasn't the sexiest game to watch. It really wasn't. But I want to know still what you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match? What did you think about Ronald Araujo's performance? Because like I said, we're quick to shit on him when he doesn't play well. But I thought he had a really good game today. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man, comment down below if you made it this far to the video, man. I appreciate you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if y'all have not subscribed. Unfortunately, I won't be doing a live watch along for the Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid game, just because my grandmother's birthday is today, so we're doing a birthday dinner. So I will be out when that game is on, but I will be keeping an eye on it. And if Real Madrid lose, you may even get a match reaction out of me, because I'm petty like that. But I'm done yapping, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here and catch y'all on the next one, man. Much love for the support y'all been showing. Like I said, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Until then, Two Tone is out. Peace.